Hello, Jack here again, Jack N. Richards, and back with another book review. And today we're going to be talking about How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. This book. And get a thumbnail. How to Win Friends and Influence People is a book published in 1937, written by Dale Carnegie. Considered one of the first self-help books, at least like one of the first big popular self-help books in America. This book's gone on to sell 30 million copies worldwide, and it's considered one of the best books ever written in American literature. That's why I wanted to check this book out and, review it on the channel, just because of its historical context and like how much influence it's had in literature. To explain a little bit about the book goes through stages and tips on how to influence people and make them like you more, and how to, essentially, as the title says, how to win friends and influence people, and sort of in a way where it's broken down into simple steps or tips, sort of like a magician's trick in a way. But I want to start off with what I liked about the book. I think some of the the stories that are being told are pretty interesting, and I think like how the book goes navigates around like analogies to help the reader have an understanding of American historical moments that have worked with these techniques and have made Carnegie come to the beliefs that he has and that he's writing about. So he has like many steps where like he mentions Lincoln or Teddy Roosevelt, and a lot of presidents get mentioned in the book. And I haven't fact checked, but at one point in the book, he says that Lincoln used to work in a grocery store and then basically read law books in his spare time, and then went on to be president of the United States. So that'd be interesting to read about, because that seemed really interesting. Other than that, I didn't really enjoy this book, honestly. This is probably one of the worser books I've read that people have told me are classics. I didn't hate this book. I just found it to be kind of boring, and I have a list of sort of more criticisms that I wasn't a huge fan of. My first criticism with this book is that it's not the original text. I was very confused, and I had to Google around and read around a bit to find this out, but it says on the wiki, actually, the Wikipedia page for this book, and basically a lot of the text has been altered over the years to make it more accessible to different generations. So I kind of realized this when Stevie Wonder was being mentioned in the book, and I was a bit like, okay, I'm pretty sure Stevie Wonder was born in the 1950s, which he was, and this book was published in 1937, so that's a bit weird. And then the weirdest part was when House MD got mentioned, and I was like, wait, hold on. And then I started reading things. So in a weird way, I'm not even really reviewing the original book. I'm reviewing a revised version, which I find personally to be kind of condescending, that they need to dumb it down to make younger people enjoy it as a book. I just thought that was very strange and unnecessary, and especially in the tech age, if I don't know a name that he references, I could always just look it up. Another sort of problem I have with the book in general is that like the book is kind of like a how to be a sociopath guideline, really, because like a lot of the advice boils down to don't ever express how you really feel. Like, always view how you interact with people as like a strategy, and like, here's the strategy to get this person to do that and this, and it just seems kind of manipulative and strange. And like, it's not surprising that when you go on the Wikipedia, Nazi Germany being a fan of being a big fan of the book, and also Charles Manson being a fan of the book, doesn't really surprise me. To talk about the writing style, I would say the writing style it's hard to tell which is written by Carnegie originally and which has been updated, aside from like the obvious parts. But you can definitely tell what's written by Carnegie when he starts using like, slang from the time period. And I'm going to see if I can see in my notes if there was like any word. I don't think I quoted anything, but I put down in my notes that if it sounds transatlantic, that was probably Dale Carnegie. I don't know. There's like some advice that's like not the worst, but then like at the same time, it's like I feel like this is like a guide for people that are assholes. Like if you're an asshole, you should probably read this book. But like, I was brought up pretty well by my parents, and like I know to be polite and stuff, and I didn't have to. It was telling me a lot of stuff that I think is just like kind of basic, and like, every human being is supposed to know, like, say please and thank you, hold a door for people, listen to people, try and remember people's names. Like that's like sort of the nutshell of some of the advice, and like I don't find that to be kind of that difficult to realize, like I just find like, shouldn't people know this? And then like who's this book for? Like sociopaths that don't understand other people's feelings, like, And there have been some criticisms, like I read on Wikipedia, where people say it's kind of, someone made the criticism that the book trains you to talk to other human beings like they're dogs, essentially. And I kind of agree with that, because like, like some of his advice, it's like, say and instead of but, because but will, then people will reevaluate what you just said, and there might be some truth in that, but then like, like you're not really being a genuine person, like you're kind of being fake with everyone, manipulate people into liking you. And I don't really get who would ever want the pleasure of being manipulated into liking someone, but that's me. There's honestly not much I can say about this book. I would just say, like, if you're thinking of picking this up, just watch a YouTube video about it or read like the Wikipedia. I don't think this is worth reading. I don't think you're going to get much out of it aside from out of what people have already said about this book. Yeah, not one of the best books I've read. Kind of disappointed. I've read 2 bad books in a row now. So I think I have to really read the next book, Master and Margarita, and really hope that I still love it. As I did as a kid. So yeah, sorry to disappoint everyone, but I keep reading books that I think I'm gonna like, and then they end up not being great. I'm waiting for people to recommend me some books in the comment section. Some of you have, and that's awesome, but like add some more, because I want to find some good books to read. And I'm sick of hearing historic books that are like apparently like the best books ever written, and then they turn out not to be. But there's some good books to find. I'm going to find them. But yeah, thank you for watching. This has been Jack N. Richards. If you want to see more book reviews, check out my channel. Hit the subscribe button, obviously, and help support me, because I'm happy with growing this channel more and more. And once this channel, gets to 1,000 subscriptions, I think I might start taking it more seriously than I am now, because I do have a day job, and then like, I tend to read in my free time, because like if this was a full project, I could probably read 5 books a week. I tend to read 6 books. I tend to read like a lot of books when I'm on vacation. That's why I have a Kindle. Or my suitcase would be like heavy. But anyway, leave a comment as to what I should read next. Let me know what your thoughts are on the book. Let me know, general, like all that. Oh shit, I should have said, I'd probably give this book like a 4 out of 10. I think, yeah, like not a great book. I just go on the Wikipedia. You'll save yourself money and time. So with all that out of the way, thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.